Hi girls, good afternoon. How are you? Today we are going to study lesson 10. You are going to be able to read a fable and understand its moral. Also, read parts of a story aloud and understand why repetition can be a useful device in storytelling. Can you remember anything about our story, our fable to give? So, let's make some refreshment about this one, refreshment. Story to give or the fable to give. It's talking about a king. This king was very powerful, generous, always gave people gold, the poor people, especially the poor people who came to his gate, to his palace, to make them able to buy anything that they need. And one day there was a very poor peasant. He had an idea, which is he could go to the palace at night to be the first one in the morning to get more gold from the king. But the guards took the peasant and put him in the prison until the morning. Next day, the king asked the peasant, "Why do you come to my palace at night?" He said, "Because maybe I could get more gold from the king and become more rich. So, but I am a good man. I didn't come here to steal anything. Before I was a very rich businessman and I had many animals and a farm. But one day some thieves came to my farm and stole my animals and my land become very dry. That's why I couldn't or I become very poor. So that's why the king listened to his story and he gave him 10 pieces of gold to buy anything he want. Exactly, the peasant bought some animals, but he is unlucky. That's why some thieves came again and stole him once again. So let's complete now what happened after that in this story. Before completing reading the story, we need to know what are these new words for our lesson today. Satisfied, share, double. Satisfied, share, double. Satisfied here, adjective. When you want something and you got it, I want a pizza and I got a pizza, so I become happy because I got what I want, what I need. So which picture do you think is matching with this definition? Yes, it's number one. Being happy. Being happy when you get something that you want. What about share as a verb? Share as a verb means to take part in something. Give and take. You can give and take. I can give you, we can share our pizza. It means that we can eat it together. Which picture do you think is for share? Yes, it's number three. Double, it means that twice. It's a verb here, twice. So double here means twice. This is for picture number two. Satisfied, happy to get something you want or you need. Share, it's a verb to take part in something, give and take. Double, twice, to make something twice bigger or as many or as much. Wealth, wise, pleasure and generous. Wealth, I have a lot of money, a lot of gold, a lot of jewels. So this is my wealth. So yes, it's picture number 4. Wise. My father is a wise man. The king is a wise man because he is an old man and he knows more and he always thinks in a good way. Which picture do you think? Yes, it's number 1. Pleasure. Pleasure means happy, happiness. Exactly. It's 2. Generous, a person who always gives, smile, gives present, gives money, gives help. So this one, we call him generous. It's picture number 3. Now, in the activity book, page 148, you need to match these words with the definitions, the meaning: satisfied, wealth, wise, share, pleasure. A, to divide something between 2 or more people. B, able to make good decision. C, pleased because you have got what you wanted. D, enjoyment or happiness. E, money and possessions. So satisfied, if you remember the picture, which means pleased, yes, because you have got what you wanted. Wealth, money and possession. Wise, able to make good decisions. Share, to divide something between 2 or more people. Pleasure, enjoyment or happiness. Now we need to complete the story. So we are going to read what happened later in the story to answer some questions. So one will be a narrator, the person who tells the story. One will be the king. One will be the peasant, the poor farmer. So I will read this time. But the next day, the peasant wasn't satisfied, wasn't happy, wasn't pleasure because he wants more with his gift of 10 gold pieces. He wanted more. So every night he returned to the palace and waited by the gates. And every morning the generous king gave him 10 more gold pieces. This went on for many nights and many days until the king asked the peasant. While I am reading, please, I need you to listen carefully and tell me what are the words that repeated many times. It's mentioned here for many times. Which words? Why do you keep coming back to my palace and asking for more gold? I have given you so much. Surely you are no longer poor or hungry. But I want to be like you. I want to be rich and powerful. But will you also be generous to all of other people, poor people? Yes, indeed I would. Then I will give you half of my kingdom and half of my wealth, money, gold. But you must promise that you will always be generous to the poor people who need your help. I promise to do what you say. The years passed and the peasant was wise and generous. He used his gold to plant food and raise animals, and soon he doubled his wealth. He shared this extra money with all the poor people. The king watched him from his palace and was very pleased with what he saw. He knew then that to give was the greatest pleasure in the world. By sharing what he owned with others, the generous king was able to make many people very happy. Now, can you tell me now, how many times does the writer use word gold? How many times did he say gold, gold, gold? Yes, exactly, for 10 times. But which other words does he use several times? Yes, so he said the word gold for 10 times, and other words that the writer repeats. Generous, he said it many times. Wealth, king, peasant, poor. He used these words for many times. Number two, fables and traditional tales often feature an action that is repeated. What's the action in this story that is repeated? Yes, the peasant going back to the palace and the king giving him gold. If these actions had only happened once, the story would be less dramatic. The peasant's determination is shown when he goes back to the palace again and again. 3. What's the moral of this lesson or story? What did you learn from this story? What's the good lesson? Yes, to share. Share your wealth with someone. It's time now for your homework. Here you have in the activity book exercise number 5, page 148. Here you have some sentences, events. We need to put the events of the story in the correct order. This is number 1, C. Every morning a king wakes early to give gold to the poor and hungry. This has happened first. Where do you think number 2, number 3, and number 4? So let's reorder the events to make a good story. Okay? You are going to choose something and tell me the reason why. I like the story to give. Why? Or you can say, I don't like the story to give. Why? If you like the story, tell me a reason why you like it or why don't you like it. The same number 2, the same number 3. If you are agree or don't agree, if you think or you don't think, give me a reason for this one. Thank you very much, girls. Waiting for your homework. See you later. Bye.